riding down the bike path by the Truckee shore. It's where Nevada skies are endless, pedaling under bridges, Reno's heart and core.
Hello yet again and welcome back to Compositing with Sam. This is episode 15, and in this episode we're going to take this shared use path taken here in Reno, Nevada, right next to the Truckee River, right by the Greater Nevada Stadium. And we're going to widen this and add a small retaining wall. This is going to be a little tricky, and there are a few things that we're going to need to do. And one thing I want to do, you can see this is very organic. There aren't a lot of straight lines. And we want to try to maintain that at least a little bit by blending the 3D geometry from Beyond Typicals with the photo. We'll do some of that with the shadow matching, where we will bring in the images or the 3D models of bushes and trees and match it. But also the retaining wall is going to come right behind this rock here and in front of this stump. And so I want to grab some of these little ferns and pull them into the foreground so that they can overlay the 3D model and the retaining wall and just blend it in better. It's going to make for hopefully a much more compelling and convincing composite when I do that. So I'm here in GIMP with the image. GIMP is a free download. You could also use Photoshop if you do that. And I'm going to pull some foreground elements over here on the right side and some foreground elements over here on the left side. So this one will actually have two foreground elements rather than the typical where we have a foreground and a background. It's going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and remove those elements now.
Capped with snow, city's pulsing rhythm, wheels, spokes, spin and shine, where the river meets the railways and the skyline, with the Truckee whispering stories old and new. Reno's soul is riding always in the view. From sunrise to sundown, got the path all mine. In Reno's heart it wins beyond the...
All right, so now we're in Beyond Typicals version 3. We've done our foreground and background. We need to bring them in, but first we want to go to example projects. Just go to blank and turn off our width, label. Now we want to click on this big red button here, and then there's two tabs rendering photo compositing. We want to go to photo compositing, import new layer, and we have the two layers, the background and the foreground. And again, I've tried to kind of blend and make this organic. We'll see how it turns out. Switch to 4K. That's going to set our resolution. And then I just want to check, make sure that foreground is in the front, background is in the back. And then, I'm not sure what our scale is here. Let's just leave it at 1. That should be okay. All right, so now we can start building out our new proposed path using the pre-made sections, and we can go ahead and use this bike lane, and we're going to obviously remove the green, but this will be a good start. And then also we want to bring in a retaining wall. So down here at the bottom we have walls, and we want to just do a custom wall. And then from here we can go over and we can select the parameters of that wall. So we definitely, the footer isn't going to matter too much because we won't see it, but the stem we want to, let's turn off the rail, and the stem we want that to be smaller.
Riding down the bike path by the Truckee shore, it's where Nevada skies are endless, pedaling under bridges, Reno's heart and core. Design laid out with care, miles effortless. Spent a lot of sunsets watching rivers flow. Got a view of mountains capped with snow. City's pulsing rhythm, wheels spoke spin and shine, where the river meets the railways and the skyline, with the truckee whispering stories old and new. Reno's soul is riding always in the view. From sunrise to sundown, got the path all mine. In Reno's heart it winds beyond the stars, capped with snow. Shedding stress while the wildflowers growing tall. Every turn and bend tells a brand lizard tale. Stranger to the tin, where glints like instantly. As petals push through history, time can't defeat.
Alright, so I built out my section, adjusted the traffic densities, the texturing, did some camera matching. This isn't perfect here, but again, I'm trying to blend, and I'm hoping that the final thing that's going to make this all work is the shadow matching. So we've got to go to Assets and search for some trees and bushes. We can do that by going into the vegetation section and then finding some of these and starting to place them.
Tall pines stand like guardians in place. Wheels hum sinks with trains' distant whistle. Through this route, life's simple recital. With every pedal turn, every mile I claim, feel the hum of Reno in this winding lane.
Alright, so you can see that the shadow matching really helps blend this in. Especially notice how this bush over here, the shadow goes across the shared use path, but then it goes up the wall, just kind of telling the mind like this is a vertical surface, which may not be immediately apparent from this angle. Same thing further down, and then when these joggers and cyclists go along, that shadow also kind of splashes up against it. I also placed a bush back here just kind of to cover a gap, and did my best to match these shadows. So I'm going to start doing some test renderings, make a few edits, and see how it turns out. All right, so I'm checking my clock. This took about 34 minutes. There was a little more involved here with some of the photoshopping, pulling things out, also the camera matching and the shadow matching than normal. That's why it took a little bit longer, but still well under an hour, and pretty great results. And this is something that you can achieve using Beyond Typicals. If you want to learn more about this software, go to beyondcad.com/beyondtypicals and learn more there. You can also click the contact us button, and we'd love to do a demo call with you showing how this can improve your own projects. We also do a lot of work with our customers, helping them on their own projects. And so there are a ton of resources available on our website and also with our team to make sure that you're successful with Beyond Typicals and with your own compositing. My name is Sam, and I will talk to you in the next one.